Sportsbook, it is my heaven. I love this place. But, as we typically do, we have to go initially, and we'll get there, to the Bucks backer, Packer backer, Wisconsin backer, Kyle Wallace to my right, and Brad Nortman, Super Bowl 50 runner-up, longtime NFL punter to my left, as this setup is incredible. The new Sportsbook. If you've heard me talk about the Sportsbook, I said 2,000 square foot video wall. Saying that does not do it justice, because you know what Brad Nortman said he walked in? Oh, wow.
Sure did.
I mean,
oh, wow.
It just does not do it justice, does it not?
No, I heard 2,000, square foot video wall. You hear new Sportsbook. You get these things in your head. I had pretty grand expectations, not going to lie. And guess what? My expectations were completely blown out of the water. I feel like I'm a VIP member here. I feel like I'm just living that life. I couldn't be more happier to be here.
That is very, very true, because, look, this is going to – I just need a bed, and I'll be sleeping here, and that'll be bad for my relationship and my new baby girl, because we got to
no, space, right?
Yeah, space.
Yeah, sometimes she needs space.
It's so funny because the other day when we were talking about how I escaped to the basement, I can't stop thinking about now how Kyle was like, yeah, that's your space, because upstairs – there's a bill. There's a bill there. Mm-hmm. She's a bill. That's a bill. This is a bill.
Everything's a dang bill.
And here, I feel like I'm away from all bills and just money going into the machines. Right now, going live is the Cubs Brewers. I'm purposely avoiding talking about the Milwaukee Bucks, but I'm not. We're going right there. That was just my way of saying it is Council versus Ricky Weeks, as Pat Murphy suspended for Game 1 of
the Fighting Pat Murphys. I love me some.
I know
Pat.
we're gonna get we're gonna get into that, but where we have to start is what I felt like was watching. You ever killed a bug?
Many times.
You ever think you killed it all the way?
Many times.
And it's still kind of like
the legs moving and you're twitching a little bit.
Yeah,
you're not sure.
That's
if it's
what I
dead
felt
or not.
like the Milwaukee Bucks were, and eventually T.J. McConnell and Obi Toppin. Yes, two guys that I never thought I would mention in my life on the radio. They're a major reason why the squash of the bug to put out the Milwaukee Bucks is what happened.
Yeah, I honestly, fellas, this is a lot. This is a lot for me. Like, I'm glad we're here at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, because it did bring my emotions
energy up.
It did. They even gave me the Voss water. Like, I feel bougie. But
you
now,
said what? The rappers drink that?
This is what the rappers drink. I literally opened up, and what, condensation came out? What came out? Carbonation?
I don't even know. It does taste a little bit better, though. I don't know what it is about it, but it tastes a little better.
Everything is finer here, but the thing that's not finer is the Milwaukee Bucks, and I am growing frustrated with the product that I am seeing on the court, not so much during the regular season, even though this regular season, let's be honest, was a complete debacle with firing of coaches during the regular season, assistant coaches before the season even started, injuries that piled up for this team, and just being disjointed the whole entire year. And I understand that Giannis got hurt, but, boys, this organization is lost.
800-990-3776. 800-990-ESPN. We are on YouTube at ESPN Madison, at ESPN Milwaukee. That is just the tip of the iceberg, I'm guessing, as it comes to what Kyle has in his mind.
Oh, yeah, I have a lot of things floating up here. Random thoughts, hurtful thoughts.
I want you to tell me I know you have energy, but I want to get inside the core of how you're feeling, because to the core of it, for me, it is 6 seasons in which Giannis has played 3 of the last 11 playoff games, 6 seasons, 1 championship, 2 first-round exits. That cannot be ignored, right? Roster aside, injuries aside, front office, all of it, it's not aside, all of it together has led to this. 2 back-to-back first-round exits, and that is not acceptable.
It is not acceptable, and the thing is this, is that Giannis last year talked about failures, and it made me mad, right? He didn't take a shot at our guy, Eric Name, but Eric Name asked him a legitimate question, and then he went viral. Giannis should only be going viral for dunks that he has on the courts and highlights, but he should not have went viral for talking about failure last year, because all he was doing is he was having excuses. Last year was an excuse, and this year, though you have an excuse that Giannis was not there, I am not going to let this organization off the hook, because I said it before, this Bucks organization is completely lost. They're inept. They have no idea what they are doing when it comes to roster building. When I look up and down the NBA, You know what I realized? And even talking to Tony Smith yesterday, I asked Tony Smith, when did you realize you were too old to be playing this game? He said, when I got into my 30s. I look at the Milwaukee Bucks roster, and it's filled with a bunch of 30-year-olds. We're depending on a 30-year-old Pat Bev. We're depending on a 30-year-old Damian Lillard. We're depending on a 30-year-old Chris Middleton. We have a 36, 37-year-old Brooke Lopez on this roster. Jay Crowder's dang near, if he's not in his 30s, he's in his 30s as well. We have so many. Pat Connaughton old behind. We are depending on an old roster to try to get us somewhere in a young man's game. When I look in the NBA, Nikola Jokic, young. The team around him, young. When I look at OKC, young. When I look at the leader of the Minnesota Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards, young. This is a
How
young
about
man.
the New York Knicks?
Jalen Brunson, young. Dante DiVincenzo, young.
I would kill to have Josh Hart a part of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Like
we talk about Pat Bev, cool, game 5, like his 12 points in the whatever, like ruffling feathers. Josh Hart, and I'm not going to go off into a tangent about other players.
No, you should.
But Kyle, you get me there because I'm watching all of these other teams, and you know what the common denominator is? Youthful energy, like extra, like there's just more in the tank for all these other teams, and we're literally trying to like fill a gas tank that like is just dripping fuel out of the back end of the car.
Well, usually the teams that play in the NBA championship that win, it's a combination. It's like what Tony Smith said yesterday of youth plus experience. Because if you go back and look at the NBA finals of the last 10, 20 years, it's guys that are in their mid-20s to mid-20s to early 30s, right? When kind of peak NBA wisdom and experience, plus you're still athletic enough to be able to play the game when those superstars are peaking, okay? So I don't necessarily need the team to have a bunch of 23-year-olds, but the fact that we have a bunch of 33-year-olds is the problem. And the pride of the Milwaukee Bucks is just to say, we can just keep running it back. We don't need to refresh. We don't need to renew. It is now biting them in the butt, and there's really no clear avenue forward.
No, we need to start pointing the finger in the right direction because we fired Bud last year thinking Bud was the problem. And what I'm realizing is that Bud isn't the problem. Giannis isn't the problem. It is John Horst and this organization that is the problem because they have no idea how to roster build. And if you're trying to build a championship, you're trying to build something sustainable, you have to build through drafting. The Milwaukee Bucks have done a terrible job. They are literally the antithesis. That's what you said yesterday, right?
Antithesis.
Of what the Green Bay Packers are. The Packers go young and draft and develop. I don't know what the Bucks do. They sign all the old decrepit guys off the free agency to try to build a roster. It's very frustrating and something that is.
Are you on the back end of your career? Come on over.
Yeah,
here.
we want you. And what's so disappointing about it is that I am not paid to be a general manager or basketball ops guy whatsoever. But if I was, I would be able to look at what I was trying to build and understand youth is what you need on a team mixed with some type of veterans. And I look at the stupidity of the Suns, right, who got beat up by a young team. I look at the Clippers who may get put out. They old as well. Why is it that it is taking us now just to realize that, but the general manager of our organization, who his job is to do basketball, how could he not recognize this years ago? Like, we traded Drew Holiday for an old Damian Lillard, and I'm happy about the trade. But what are we doing to get younger? What are we doing to get fresher? What are we doing to draft guys that can actually be developed and play a key role on this team? Because, fellas, I'm going to tell you this right now. We talk about championship windows for the Packers. The Bucks window for a championship, it has one season left because the roster that you have is a complete mess. You can literally get rid of everybody but Giannis, Dame, and Chris, and everybody else can be gone, and you're going to have to start over. You are.
No, I think that's a great start. Ashy, if you don't mind, back there, Ashton Rotman running the show. Alex Strofe just hosted Mr. Irrelevant from noon to 2. He's our typical producer. He provided no help on the pre-show meeting. He focused on hosting, and now he's still in the studio acting as if he's doing something. I don't even know if he's recording anything on that phone, but he's very good at pretending that he is. I want to get up on Twitter at KBN ESPN. Kyle Wallace thinks the Bucks championship window is one more year. Do you agree or disagree?
That should be 100% yes. You are an idiot if you think that this window is more than one. With the way this roster is constructed, you're going to have to show me miracles because ain't no miracles coming through Milwaukee after next season.
I'm right there with you. I think it's at most one. I'm not even so sure it's not already closed. Because I don't think this team is going to run back and be a better version of the team that we witnessed this year. I just really don't.
Who gets older, it gets better.
Exactly. So I'm not even sure that the 1 year you're giving them of the championship window is even the case.
I'll give him the 1 year. I was encouraged by what Damian Lillard had to say post game about all the speculation about him being in Milwaukee. He really summed it up in terms of like, it was hard for all of them to sort of get on the same page. And I do want to hear from Dame quick because I want to know if that helps Kyle be at least excited about what he thinks is a 1 year window. So here's Dame Lillard after the Milwaukee Bucks game in elimination yesterday.
When things don't go as planned, like I said before, I don't say a lot. So sometimes when people, make a read, oh, Dame, look, he doesn't look happy. I don't think I've ever run around on the court smiling. My disposition has always been that way. But I think, people they're going to look at everything and try to make something of everything. It's been some hard times. I haven't denied that one time this year. Basketball and personally, it's been some hard times, but it's never been a issue with Milwaukee. I get the opportunity to play with Giannis. I'm playing with veteran players. I know that the only thing we plan for is the opportunity to win the championship, and that's why I made the decision to be a part of something like this. But I understand that the chatter and the gossip and all of those things come with the territory. I know that criticism comes with being on a team with high expectations.
That was Dame Lillard post game talking, in an reflective standpoint about how all this went. And Matt's coming at Kyle. Hey, moron, how do you get younger when you trade all your draft picks for Holiday and then Dame? Dame and Giannis will win multiple championships together.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wait a minute.
That's what I want to know. Like,
I think the first part that he said is valid, right?
Yeah, we all agree.
But we know there's no capital because of what you traded. But when you trade and leverage as much as you did for old, this is the back end. If you don't get it done, then you have this 1 year next year. If Chris Middleton, Dame, and Giannis can all hold up. Giannis has played 3 of the last 11 playoff games. That's a huge deal. That is a massive deal for a major reason why that they're not able to get over the hump. But I get it. They don't have a lot of capital, and that's why Kyle's saying if they don't figure it out next year, the older they get, they don't have the capital to get younger, and that's why the window is only 1 year. I think that's what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and here's the thing. This offseason, the Bucks do have their first-round trade. They have a first-round pick this year. And so in order for the Milwaukee Bucks to get better, it is...
You trust they're going to do anything with that?
It is an expectation.
I got Beauchamp on here. I got
you don't
Porter,
you don't have to tell me.
A rookie's not going to have a
Rashad
marketable
Vaughn.
increase of talent on the court.
No, Brad, here's the thing. There are rookies that make impacts on teams across the NBA. There are undrafted rookies like stupid Nimhar, or maybe it was a second-round pick, who made a
TJ McConnell was undrafted.
Who made
to
an
take
impact.
this team, though, to be championship caliber?
You listen, that is on John Horst to find somebody that can contribute right away. That's another thing I'm tired of. I'm sick and tired of seeing first-round draft picks come in here and do absolutely nothing. Marjan should be able to give you something year 2. He was a top 25 pick. You should be able to do something with him.
He can't, though, so you can't wish something that can't happen.
But whose fault is that?
I agree.
It is a revolving door of first-round picks coming in here and giving you absolutely nothing. Basically, since you drafted Giannis, you have not been able to find anybody to contribute. I understand that Jabari Parker got injured and got hurt. You cannot control that. But you have drafted guys year after year after year, and they are not making an impact on this roster. And that goes to what you are doing development-wise, and that comes down to John Horst and the Milwaukee Bucks coaching staff.
It's a therapy session for anybody who wants to be heard. 800-990-3776. That's 800-990-ESPN. Matt and Brown Deer, you're up on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman reacting to what was a just brutal end to the season.
Yeah, it was brutal, but you know what? Giannis didn't play. That's our best player. You can't win without him. I did want to mention one other thing. I've been listening for a while, Ben, and I don't always agree with you, but you hit the Knicks on the head when you said Josh Hart. They couldn't win without him. That's the kind of player the Bucks need.
I completely agree, right? Like, I'm not saying the Bucks are going to get Josh Hart, but you need to find that type of hybrid guy with the roster that you have, right? Let's assume Chris, Dame, and Giannis are all back. You have to find somebody that's not named Pat Bev past his prime, who's given it his all. But you need someone who's like can infuse youth. Like, and obviously it was fun to see Andre Jackson for a little bit show some good moments in limited playing time.
Flashes. He showed flashes of promise,
but
of
not
being a contributor.
But we don't need flashes. If you're in a championship window, you need guys that can.
But when do you build guys from being more than flashes? That's the problem. The Bucks have not given guys opportunities. That was the knock on Buck, is that you didn't give guys an opportunity to go from flashes to being contributors.
800-990-3776. Kyle's hot, and I get it. I'm frustrated. I want to get to Brad's thoughts as well, but more importantly, it is a therapy session for you. If you are frustrated, I want to hear you out. 800-990-3776. 800-990-ESPN. We hear from KBN Nation, continue reacting to what was a brutal loss from the Milwaukee Bucks. But what will keep my spirits high is knowing that we are sitting in this beautiful studio looking over the new Potawatomi Sportsbook. More Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. Next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
And make sure everyone's tuning in when we do this, because y'all's faces are going to be like,
It better be sweet.
If you think I'm going to act like that for oatmeal, you're outside your damn
You've never
mind.
had Brad Nortman's oatmeal.
It's not
But
Quaker,
I've also
is
had
it?
chocolate chip
No,
pancakes
no,
with butter
organic.
and syrup that make me go, oh, baby, oatmeal ain't going to
You'll,
do that.
you'll be surprised. I'm going to do a variety.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it yourself at 2 convenient Madison locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Honda certified technicians handle it all. You can even get flexible payment options. Fix your car now and pay later. Apply online to see your options in seconds with no hard credit check. Make your service appointment online at ZimbrickHonda.com. Zimbrick Honda Service Center on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Hi, I'm John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. I've been here for over 4 decades now, and I can tell you here at Goodman's Jewelers, we pride ourselves on high standards, classic traditions, honesty, and integrity. We're a small independent jeweler with a great history, so you'll find us more personal than other big-name jewelers. Find Goodman's Jewelers in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. Goodman's Jewelers, the Diamond Store Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Hey everyone, Molly Brown here from ESPN Madison. For the best Southwestern food and margaritas in the Madison area, it's always Pasquale's Cantina for me. Whether I'm enjoying my favorite taco salad, their awesome chips and guac, or one of their famous burritos, Pasquale's is the best for authentic Southwestern fare. Plus, they have one of the largest tequila selections around. Visit one of their locations in Verona or Middleton today, or check out their menu and order online at Pasquale'sCantina.com.
Bringing the flavors of the Southwest to the Midwest. Pasquale's Cantina.
There's a good chance if you watch sports, you're getting served information about hormone optimization. What does that even mean? Dr. Nestor Rodriguez at Carbon World Health can tell you exactly what hormone optimization means. He will take your blood work and let you know if it's right for you. If you're feeling sluggish, not losing weight like you used to, you're not gaining muscle like you used to, or you just don't feel like yourself in most aspects of your life, go see Dr. Nestor Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. In fact, sign up for the 6-week experience so you can see everything that Carbon World Health has to offer, including hormone optimization. Learn more at carbonworldhealth.com.
Sharon needed legal help. She needed Gruber Law Offices.
When I think about Gruber Law Office, I think about how they took care of me, how they make sure that you get what you're supposed to get. Gruber Law Office. One call, that's all. I will always trust one call, that's all.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
They are the best. I'm very happy.
This is going to be a summer like no other at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. We're giving away over $300,000 in cash and prizes in just 3 months in our Golden Summer Series. There's so much happening May through July. We're talking rollover jackpots, promo kiosk rewards, hot seat drawings, pick a prize, hot ticket drawings, and more. It all adds up to over $300,000 in cash and prizes, including grand prizes of $5,000, $10,000, and the chance for something even bigger. The Golden Summer Series means more ways to win at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
The second annual ESPN Madison Open is coming soon, and you can swing into the fun. Molly Brown here. Join us on Monday, August 5th at Bishops Bay Country Club and help raise money for the Miracle League of Dane County. Purchase a whole sponsorship, and you'll help provide adaptive equipment, uniforms, and a safe, inclusive environment where every child can thrive. Interested? Email ESPN Madison sales at goodkarmabrands.com. Sponsor a hole, donate, and make dreams come true with the Miracle League of Dane County, because every child deserves a chance to play ball.
Metro Kia of Madison is Madison's trusted Kia dealership, and they are home of the 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. If you're looking to purchase, finance, or service your vehicle, Metro Kia of Madison is the place to go. As always, at Metro Kia of Madison, you can enjoy 2 years of no-charge maintenance on any new vehicle. Browse their inventory and find this month's special at metrokiaofmadison.com. That's metrokiaofmadison.com. Find your new vehicle at your trusted Kia dealership today.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, sponsored by Bud Light on ESPN Wisconsin and Wisconsin On Demand.
I got royalty inside my DNA.
Kyle Wallace, the Kyle of Kyle, Brust Nortman, says that the Bucks championship window has only 1 year left. Do you agree or disagree? Early in the voting, 50-50. And I think that's fair, right? I can hear arguments for wanting to believe that it's over 1 year, simply because of having Giannis and simply because he has been injured. But you have to take into account the way the roster has been constructed, and you have to take into account what they have in terms of assets in order to make this roster better beyond 1 more year. 800-990-3776, the ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line, as we are live. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman from Potawatomi's new Sportsbook. It is amazing. The 2,000 square foot video wall is the official biggest TV I've ever seen. And
beautiful.
It's just gorgeous. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. And more votes rolling in. They're starting to go more towards Kyle. Let's go to the phone lines, though, because I said it's a therapy session, and I want everyone's voice to be heard. Because when I see this from David, and I love my guy David, I get the frustration, guys, but you're overkilling this a bit. 1 full season under Doc and reloading by the GM will help. Reload, reassess, end of next season. No. Here's why no. It has been 1 championship in 6 seasons. They missed the opportunity in 19, losing to the Raptors up 2-0. They end up winning the championship. 2020, we all went happen into the bubble. 2021, Giannis took them to a championship, and Chris Middleton and Drew were great getting them there when Giannis was hurt. 2022, Chris gets hurt. That seems to be a common theme. 2023, first-round exit. 2024, first-round exit. That's not enough for me to sit here and just be like, no frustration. No, we're overkilling it a bit. No, that's 1 championship in 6 years with arguably one of the greatest players. 2 top 75 players on your team, as Kyle mentioned, and Giannis being closer to top 10 of all time once it's all said and done with his career. 800-990-3776. We'll go to an official educator of KBN Nation, Dimitri, in a car. Dimitri, your thoughts?
Let's see here. So not every draft pick hasn't turned out. We drafted the Rookie of the Year, Malcolm Brogdon, in the 2nd round. We chose to pay Eric Bledsoe instead of him. He walked.
Hammond.
We should have. Huh?
Hammond drafted him, but I see your point with Horst being involved.
They both.
Right. We should have kept Dante DiVincenzo around instead of trading him. So there's your youth right there to draft and develop. Horst has always been an aggressive DM with trades and all that, but sometimes you don't have to trade and just keep the guys around and develop them. So it's a Horst apiece. You can go the Packers route, draft and develop, or you can be aggressive. I think we should be more draft and develop, but it's hard to do that when you don't have picks for the next however many years.
And that's the predicament that we're in, Dimitri. 800-990-3776, and that's why I voted yes. It does feel like to me the window is 1 more year because of the lack of assets and the aging assets that you wouldn't get a lot back for to help this roster, plus the lack of draft picks and the lack of young talent that they have coming through the organization. Let's go to James in Bayview. James, 800-990-3776. You're up on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. Your therapy session with us.
Guys, thanks for taking my call. I agree we should run it back. I don't think we've had enough chance. It was ridiculous for them to fire Griffin in the middle of the season, and I don't think Giannis and Dame had a chance to gel. I definitely don't think it's John Horst's fault. At least he's making some moves. We would be complaining of a general manager that doesn't make moves like Ted Thompson, even though he still was good general manager. The draft and develop, wouldn't you blame that on why isn't I heard earlier this morning, why isn't like Doc Rivers like giving the younger guys a chance, more of a chance to play? You know, we could have some diamonds in the rough sitting on the bench, but we don't know.
Yeah, no, I hear you out there, but I'll tell you this. If the young players were good enough, they would be out there. Talent and production knows no age. If you are a stud as a young player, it's seen in practice. There's enough time in games to know if this guy plays 30-plus minutes, he's going to help the team. But, again, this all comes back to the same question. I like that Horst has been aggressive, but at what point were you so aggressive that you leveraged too much, and now we're on the back end of what looks like a closing window? Because Dick Van Dyke says, Kyle, Brad, and Benny, I'm so terribly sorry to say this, the window is closed. Brad Nortman, I know you have strong thoughts about the window. To answer Kyle's question, is it 1 year? Is it one more year of a window or longer?
I go with neither of those answers.
Oh, wow.
I go with the, what was that, Dick Van Dyke? The real
Dick
Dick Van Dyke? I go with the window is closed as well, because everyone that says, let's run it back, the window is still open. I want you to tell me exactly what you're planning on doing to make this team better from last year to this year. And don't say, hey, we just need everyone to be healthy. These are old players. They get injured. That is what old players do. They can't sustain full seasons. They can't go as long in these long playoff series. And this is the risk you run with having old guys. Everyone is going to be 1 year older. They're going to be 1 year slower. They're going to be one year less healthy. So you can't just say, well, we just need Chris Middleton and we need Dame and we need Giannis all to be healthy. They're all going to be more than 30. Guys who are 30 who have played 800, 900, 1,000 games. This is what happens. They get hurt. So I don't see anything that this team can do in a practical standpoint to actually improve this roster for next year. I don't think one draft pick in the first round. Okay, when's the last time a draft pick, even a draft pick that ended up being a good player, makes a major impact in year one to make this a championship level team? I just do not see it. So I think it'd be much better off for the Bucks to sell what they can, get as young as you possibly can, try to salvage the last 4 years of Giannis's peak career, because I think there's only 4 more peak years of Giannis. Get as young as you can and try to be able to stretch that out as long as possible.
So you're saying
that
trade
risks making Giannis feel like, all right, I have to wait for whatever we do trade-wise, get guys in and build a younger roster with me.
But
and he could be like, you know what? Like, I don't feel like we can win a championship. I want to win a championship now. I want number 2 now. And if the Bucks can't provide that, you risk the Giannis going, this isn't what I signed up for.
But look at what you gave Giannis and the result of it. I mean, if we're going to believe the rumors out there, if there are actually rumors that Giannis has a say in all these decisions, you gave him everything he wants. This is the result. You have a pathetic team that gets bounced 2 years straight in the first round, which I'm sorry, if you're going to be a top 3 player like Giannis is, I know he was injured for sure. And if he would have played, I think they would have won. But generally speaking, since him and Chris Middleton became the faces of the Milwaukee Bucks, 9 playoff appearances, 5 first-round exits. That way, if you were going to bet anytime Giannis and Chris made the playoffs,
that's got to hurt the heart. Is that true?
Your best bet would be first-round exit.
I've lived through all these. Beyond that, I've lived through first-round exit after first-round exit after first-round exit. And Brad, I mean, it might sound sweet to trade Dame, but again, you trade Dame, you try to get some people that are unknown, you might risk having a dud there, and now you done gave yourself away from at least having 1 more year, right?
We got to make sure it's a trade that makes sense. You don't just give Dame away for nothing, because he is a marquee player.
His value has gone down. I can tell you that now.
This franchise, the way they built this roster, it's flawed. It's not championship level. So running it back a year, I think, is the definition of an insanity.
800-990-3776. Phil in Cedarburg, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, kind of what that dude was just saying.
That dude.
I mean, Dame seems like the most logical piece to try to trade, but I don't really know what his market value is. But I think you at least have to see what the market value is. You at least have to see what you can get from Dame, because it doesn't feel like it's a good fit. We don't have a real good defensive identity with Dame on the floor. He's a good shooter, but he's just, I don't know, maybe he was just it was rough for him this year. Maybe I guess I got to give him the benefit of the doubt. And I'll say one thing I liked about what Griffin was doing. He was developing those young players. He was giving them a lot of minutes, and that would have made a big difference in the playoffs. You know, Rob Rivers got there and he pretty much shut down the minutes for the young guys.
All right,
you know,
all right.
and that,
What young guys would you have liked to seen on the floor?
I would have liked to seen the guy from Connecticut. What's his name? Andre Jackson? Is that his name?
Andre Jackson got time. He showed flashes, but he's not.
2?
Yeah, and he's not a guy you can have out there for 30 minutes.
You can have him out there for 20 minutes, and he can make a difference with his defensive presence, his athleticism. I mean, what this team lacked was big-time youthful legs and athleticism. You know, Rivers stopped playing him. Let's not pretend he played. Once Rivers got in there, the guy barely saw the floor. And then you put him in a little bit in the playoffs, but you have to give him consistent minutes until you get to the playoffs. And,
yeah,
you know,
I hear you, Phil, and I got to keep it rolling. Well, the one thing I will say to that is I don't like the common denominator is here. Andre Jackson this year, if you're relying on him to be a major piece of your championship run, that is not going to get you a championship. Now, I think he could be a piece that I like, but there's a bigger issue than just Andre Jackson. There should be 2 or 3 guys like if you mention Marjan, if you mention Andre Jackson, there should be 3 more of those that one of them pops and you're able to insert them in the lineup. But instead, they kept trying to go get assets, and the assets they were getting kept bringing the average age up. 800-990-3776. We got a lot to get to. We're not going anywhere. We're here at Potawatomi Casino Hotel's new Sportsbook until 5 o'clock. So instead of the KBN Academy next, we continue to hear from KBN Nation. We continue to hear from Kyle Wallace, and we continue to hear from all of you on Twitter and on YouTube. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman live from Potawatomi Casino Hotel Sportsbook. But as always, we got to give a shout-out to a brand that is in Potawatomi Casino Sportsbook, and that is Carb Bliss.
Oh, you know that I'm having a Carb Bliss here. I'm also having a Carb Bliss at home. We having some people, family come over tonight. You know what they're asking? Hey, make sure you get that Carb Bliss in that fridge. I said, you know I got you, because Carb Bliss is what I go to. When I'm going home this weekend, people to relax, sit back, kick back, and have a nice handcrafted vodka, tequila, and rum cocktail. I'm always going to Carb Bliss. It's all I drink. That's because it's without the guilt. I worked out this morning. I'm eating healthy. I might have a little treat here at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, but you know that I'm always going to be focused on my diet and working out, and that's why I want less guilt when I drink. And that's what Carb Bliss does for me. Just like the name says, no carbs, no sugar, no gluten, less carbonation. That way I'm feeling less bloat, 100 calories per can, and it is everything I want when feeling good physically when drinking, but also the taste is unbelievable. I am dipping back into the fruit flavors. I'm all in. The pineapple, the black cherry, the lemon lime, so good now that it's getting a little bit warmer outside, but the classic cocktails like Paloma and Margarita, so good. If you haven't tried Carb Bliss yet, I want you to discover why Bliss is more. Find them online and at retailers near you.
What I do know is someone wants to celebrate the successes instead. 800-990.
Successes.
Yes, we're going to
of
hear
what?
from it. Yeah, well, we're going to get to it on the other side.
Okay.
If you're on the line with that one, I think it's David. Stay there, and if you want to get your voice heard, 800-990-3776. We hear from KBN Nation and continue reacting to what was the end of the Milwaukee Bucks season. Live from Potawatomi Sportsbook. Next.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
Ben, I've been a fan of you since Scalzo and Brust was on the air. You kind of are like a Pat McAfee for the ESPN Milwaukee. You kind of revolutionized this this channel and stuff.
Leo, I'm here for you, and I appreciate everything you say. We love you listening, and you can call in every day and say that. I won't get
on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Ben Brust here from Kyle, Brust, and Nortman and tell you about the newest spike tee on the market, and that is Hoop Tee. And when I mean that it's the newest and best, it was born on the boardwalk of Ocean City, Maryland, and enjoyed now right here in Madison, Wisconsin. With flavors like an original spike tee. You have peach, you have mango, you have watermelon. Hoop Tee will make you feeling great with whatever flavor fits your profile. Hoop Tee. Enjoy the hoops on the screen and hoops in your hand. HoopTee.com. Must be 21 years or older to enjoy.
Wild Rock Golf in the Wisconsin Dells, a must-play every golf season. Wild Rock Golf features championship golf in the heart of Wisconsin. Wild Rock, a Herdston Fry masterpiece that's cut from the natural beauty of the Wisconsin Dells and offers stunning views from elevated tee boxes. Wild Rock presents spectacular greens that roll fast and true. Wild Rock Golf in the Wisconsin Dells, a unique gem that offers a challenge to avid golfers of all abilities. Book your tee time today for this must-play at wildrockgolf.com, wildrockgolf.com.
Evan Cohen here from Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio for True Green. Are you ready to elevate your lawn game without breaking the bank? True Green has been the trusted choice for over 2 million homeowners for over 50 years. Visit TrueGreen.com and discover the easiest and affordable way to achieve a pro-level lawn guaranteed. Plus, enjoy True Green's verified price matching, ensuring you get the best lawn for the best price. Visit TrueGreen.com and transform your lawn effortlessly. That's TrueGreen.com. Your dream lawn is just around the corner.
I need directions for paying down debt.
Starting route. Apply for a SoFi personal loan and consolidate your debt into one fixed payment. Turn right into a positive outlook and get $5,000 to $100,000 as soon as the same day you sign with no fees required.
Got it. You could get out of high-interest credit card debt with a SoFi personal loan. View your rate at SoFi.com/debt in 60 seconds with no impact to your credit score. Loans originated by SoFi Bank N.A. Member FDIC. Terms and conditions at SoFi.com/debt. NMLS 696891.
If you're a motorist of the four-wheel variety, please watch out for those of us in Wisconsin who do their traveling on two wheels. Adjust your mirrors to reduce your blind spots. Allow motorcyclists a full lane width. Use your turn signal when merging or changing lanes. And allow more following distance between you and the motorcycle. Motorists and motorcyclists can work together to achieve zero preventable deaths on Wisconsin roads. Zero in Wisconsin. Together we can save lives. Learn more at zeroinwisconsin.gov. Wisconsin DOT.
Greg Scalzo here for Buckin' Honeys. Congratulations to the perennial Best of Madison Award winner by the folks at Madison Magazine. Meet me at Buckin' Honeys to celebrate Wisconsin hospitality. Whether you're enjoying the view on the Yahara River in Monona, exploring Wanakee, visiting the OG in Sun Prairie, or checking out the new location in Mount Horeb, you can enjoy the Buckin' Honeys experience in a neighborhood near you. Serving lunch and dinner 7 days a week with brunch every Saturday and Sunday. I'll see you at Buckin' Honeys.
Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side. When you see Diamond Jim, you can count on him to be on your side. Selection beyond compare with on-site repair, so you can wear your jewelry with pride. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
On Twitter at KBN ESPN for you to react to. Kyle Wallace thinks the Bucks championship window has only 1 year left. Do you agree or disagree? Agree, one more year of the window, 49%. Disagree, over or longer, 52%. So pretty split, 800-990-3776. Appreciate you waiting on the phone lines. Let's go to David in Brookfield. David, welcome into Kyle, Brust, and Nortman live from Potawatomi Sportsbook, 800-990-3776.
Ben, thank you for taking my call. Kyle, Brad, appreciate the banter as always. Of course, they have another year, at least, if not more. But like the segue was beforehand, I think it's a time to celebrate success with this team. I know Brad has a negative attitude and wants to tear it down to scraps. I guess, to me, I'd want to focus on that Game 5 where they put in one of the grittiest performances that I've ever watched this team or this franchise. To come back with that little scraps of a team, and I'm not discounting Pat Bev and Bobby and all the great guys we have, but to pull out that victory and push it to Game 6 to even get to that, I think is a testament to the culture that has been built through this team led by Giannis. And we don't know how many years left he has in his prime. 4, that's speculation. And you know what? The cohesion of a full-time coaching staff, yes, health is a factor that's outside of our control, but let these boys play together and grow together, and let's take another crack. This team is built for postseason, play-by-play, slow it down. It's tantalizing how close we were. If there had been health with Giannis, it's a different series and a different game, boys. I'll hang up and catch your reaction. But, Brad, last thing, when did you start becoming a Bucks fan? It would be my last question.
As a kid, I love the Bucks. I grew up here in Brookfield. I went to games all the time. I got a Ray Allen jersey,
Brookfield
Glenn
to
Robinson
Brookfield.
jersey. That's right.
Yeah, Brookfield to Brookfield.
That's
David
right.
and Brad talking. Now, I can't disagree more with what David had said in the start, but I'm fine with his take at the end. I'm not going to sit here knowing, that the season is over with a second straight first-round exit. Trust me, if you go back to Wisconsin On Demand and you listen to how proud we all were of the team in Game 5, that doesn't just mean you just get to celebrate Game 5 and then just be like, oh, let's just celebrate Game 5 and good job, good fight. That's not what this organization is about.
You know what? I do want to celebrate the successes. You know what? He's right. I'm going to celebrate the success. You know what the success is?
What's that?
The success is learning that you absolutely did a terrible job at forming this roster, and the success is realizing that you are absolutely too old and you need to get younger. So in failure, you are now able to open your eyes and see the problem, and now you need to address
That's
the problem.
the success?
Because that is the success, because now you can grow from it, because with failure, with not doing well, you can find success. Now, when I say success, it's success in the future. So John Horst, you better get it right this offseason.
If he's here.
If you're here, if you are
Rumored
here,
to want to maybe go to Detroit.
he needs to probably go to Detroit. Matter of fact, I would probably fire John Horst. I would, because the biggest thing that he has not been able to do. Yes, he has been a wizard with getting players here, but John
Horst did orchestrate a trade to bring Drew Holiday to the Milwaukee Bucks.
That's fantastic.
To win the first championship in 50 years.
He gave up a lot. He really gave up a lot. But here's the thing. It's fine. It worked out. I'm happy about it. I'm not complaining about that. But as a general manager, acquiring talent is more than just trading for talent. It's more than just signing minimum veterans who want to come here and play with Giannis, as somebody told me. It is also being able to evaluate the up-and-coming pipeline of talent that's coming from high school to go to college that is eventually going to go to the pros. He has absolutely failed with a big F at doing that, and this is why we are in the position that we are in. I know Giannis did not play, but I just want to let y'all know this. How much I love Giannis. Giannis ain't the saving grace. That's an illusion. We've had Giannis
to explain.
To think that Giannis is the saving grace for this team, especially if you just trade away Damian Lillard, is foolish. Giannis by himself has showed you that he does not have the ability to get you to a championship. So to think that, we got Giannis and that's going to solve the problem, that is an absolute illusion. Most players can't do it by themselves, and a dude that is powerful down low and his game is within 10 feet of the basket, he ain't going to be able to win a championship on his own. It is on John Horst, and it is his responsibility to build a team around Giannis, also through the draft.
The word you're using is team, and that's just so critical because you need not one, not two, but you need probably 3 superstars, at least 2 superstars and another superstar to actually go win an NBA championship. And then you need depth. You need guys to fill their role. That's exactly what this team had in 2021. Every NBA champion you look at, they follow the same thing. So I want to know, Giannis is a superstar. Dame played like a star, and then Giannis or Chris Brooke, those guys are not the stars they once were. They're old. They're getting older by the day.
I can't dog Chris. If there's anyone I can't dog on the air, because Chris was a dog. I mean, my guy battled through injuries.
He did, but is that going to last a full NBA playoffs? It was 3 games.
I mean, from 2022 against the Celtics, I believe he got hurt, battled injuries last year, and he fought through this year. But what is a consistent theme for him is
injuries,
which happens when you're old.
Yep.
That's just, and we have an old roster.
And I did listen to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning, and I do want to get at some point to Craig Karmazin, the CEO, founder of Good Karma Brands, talking to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. And Chewy pushed back at Craig because Craig feels as if he saw enough versus the Oklahoma City Thunder in a regular season game when they were full strength to tell him that going back with Chris, Dame, and Giannis, he's confident that this team is the right way to go with that core.
Oh, he's missing. Oh my gosh. You know what he's missing is that Chris, Dame, and Giannis, they need people around him. That core is nice, but what the hell you gonna do around him? That's the issue I have.
You want me to book him? You want to talk to OC, your guy?
I would love to talk to Craig.
All right.
As what is Homer called Mo?
Mo? Why Mo?
Minority owner or something?
Oh yeah. Well, he is one of that. I mean, that's not new news. He is a minority owner of the Bucks, and we'll find out if the minority owner of the Bucks is just saying all the things to keep at the top of the food chain there.
He ain't. Listen, ain't no sugarcoat nothing today.
Yeah, well, we're gonna find out if he is. Let's get him on the schedule. You want to text him?
Sure, I'll text Craig. I'll see if he's available.
Sounds good. Thank you for producing when we don't have a producer,
That's
Alex
very true.
Stroh, who's more worried about hosting Mr. Irrelevant from noon to 2. But it has been a great time thus far all day from 7 o'clock until in the morning till 7 at night. We have been here and we will be here for you on 94.5 ESPN, 100.5 ESPN till 4. But just know Potawatomi Casino Sportsbook is absolutely amazing. You need to see it for your own eyes because you will be in awe of what it looks like when you get here. And going on right now, Cubs Brewers. You know who has a good affiliation with those Brewers? American Family Insurance.
Oh, yes, American Family Insurance sure does. If you need a home or an auto policy, you need to make sure you contact our good friends at American Family Insurance. They are a staple of Wisconsin. You see their name on the AmFam field. You see that because of their commitment here. You see the investment that they make in the community. It's because they care about Wisconsin. But not only do they care about Wisconsin, they also care about you. And the great thing about them, you can bundle your home and auto policy. You can customize what you want to make sure that it absolutely fits what your needs are. So insure carefully. Dream fearlessly. American Family Insurance. Call them today to make sure that you are well taken care of with our great partner, American Family Insurance.
800-990-3776 at the therapy session if you want your voice to be heard. 800-990-ESPN. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman live from the beautiful, brand new Potawatomi Sportsbook. This radio booth is amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing.
No, it is incredible. I feel like a star.
I feel so classy.
Yeah.
So sophisticated.
You don't look classy with that T-shirt.
Wait a minute. I'm wearing jeans today.
You're wearing
we got guys with suits everywhere, and you look like you just rolled out of bed and came to the sports book.
Is that a free shirt?
Nice
free
you don't deserve that nice Voss water.
This is about as nice as I can get, boys.
Well,
that's as nice as you can get.
We got work to do then. More Kyle, Brust, and Nortman live from Potto Sportsbook next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
I'm about being young, wild, and free.
No, you're not.
You're
not young, wild, and free.
Yeah,
I am young.
You're not that.
I am Every time I ask you to do something, I check with a girlfriend.
Wait, why are you taking why you going personal? Why you gotta talk about business?
What if
I can still be free with a lady.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute.
Varsity on Wisconsin On Demand is home to all the latest and best Badgers content on ESPN Wisconsin. Subscribe on Apple, Spotify, Wisconsin On Demand, and wherever you get your podcasts.
With this Badger Minute, I'm Jesse Nelson. ESPN Madison is your new home for Wisconsin Badgers volleyball. Making the announcement official Thursday on Wilde and Tausch, Good Karma Brand CEO Craig Karmazin.
We are going to be the new home of the Wisconsin volleyball program and the flagship home for a best-in-class program that has absolutely captivated this entire fan base, and couldn't be more excited to share that announcement with our fans.
Right now, get 0% interest-free financing for up to 60 months when you order by May 10th. Set your free in-home consultation at PellaWI.com.
From color-changing alexandrite to shimmering zircon and everything in between at Chalmers Jewelers, you'll find high-quality, affordable, one-of-a-kind pieces. We source straight from the gem cutters, and we manufacture in-house from start to finish. As the manufacturer, we believe in truth in pricing. Never pay more for quality and stunning, beautiful jewelry. She's one of a kind, and so should her jewelry be. While others may send your jewelry dreams to someone else to make, with us, your dreams become reality with the help of our custom jewelers, with you involved the whole way. With a staff that has over 200 years of combined experience, Why buy from a place that marks up jewelry made by the thousands, when you can buy direct from Chalmers for that one-of-a-kind piece that is better quality, often for less?
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
And Madison.
Whether it's baseball season, basketball playoffs, or hockey playoffs, experience it live this spring with Vivid Seats. With one of the most reliable rewards programs in the business, Vivid Seats makes it easy to score great deals on great seats with a 100% buyer guarantee. Plus, with Vivid Seats rewards, you can earn with every ticket purchase, including surprise seat upgrades, birthday discounts, free tickets, and more. Just visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
This NFL Draft Player Profile is brought to you by ServPro.
Today, the NFL is full of general managers who'd erase past draft boards and pretend like it never even happened. For instance, 198 draft picks were taken before the New England Patriots drafted Tom Brady, even though Brady was considered by me to be a proven big game signal caller who stood tall in a pocket with incredible accuracy and touch on his throws coming into the draft.
ServPro, like it never even happened.
It's time for the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Bud Light.
Lillard's going to tee up a three, and he splashes it through for the left wing.
The choice to enjoy is easy. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy.
Damian Lillard was able to return in the lineup and dropped 28 points, but no Giannis, and Chris Middleton had an off game as the Bucks fall 120-98 in Indianapolis. They lose 4-2 to the Pacers in their opening round series. Here's Doc Rivers after the game.
What I loved about our guys is no one wavered. That one guy wavered. Every single guy in that locker room thought, even without those guys, we're still going to win this series. And that says a lot about the character of your team.
Pacers will move on to take on the Knicks in the second round of the NBA playoffs, and the Bucks have questions to be answered in the offseason. More to come on that as the summer hits.
This has been your Milwaukee Basketball Report on Madison's home for Bucks basketball, 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Bud Light. This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, sponsored by Bud Light on ESPN Wisconsin and Wisconsin On Demand.
Live from Potawatomi Casino Hotel's brand new Sportsbook. It is beautiful. The 2,000 square foot video wall feels like 5,000. It's that big. It's so awesome, so clear. It's amazing. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman with you. KBN across ESPN Wisconsin, 800-990-3776 if you want to get in the show. And on YouTube, as always, at ESPN Madison and at ESPN Milwaukee. Now, as we've grown to know Brad in the past to be a pun master, I don't know if there are puns in here, but Brad, I don't know what you did, but I'm excited to know what it is.
Yeah, you guys are going in blind to this. It's been a tense first 52 minutes, so why don't we lighten up a little bit? Because this has been a tragedy, guys. There's no doubt about it. This has been a tragedy of the season for the Milwaukee Bucks. And as I was thinking, nobody quite did the tragedy quite like William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare nailed the tragedy genre. But little did you guys know, William Shakespeare had a brother, Bradley Shakespeare.
Oh, wow.
And he wrote a story on the tragedy of the deer. Ashton, let's hit it. Yielding the Sir Larry O'Brien, to be or not to be? That is the question. For too long, the deer that usually strike fear have been pulled off the stage in the first act. No more will the scorching sun of the heat shatter the dreams held in thine heart. Out of the darkness, what explosive I hear from Sir Woj from the land of Espen? A peculiar pen name for this new squire. What is it you say? An earned wage and a fair maiden? Dalla dame indeed! Jovial merriment will ensue. With our Greek champion, will anyone else lay claim to Sir Larry O'Brien? I say nay, but a warning to thine countrymen who place their faith in men who have experienced too many winters. Alas, all that glimmers is not gold. How will the tenure unfold for these deer? Could there be destruction on the horizon? As known bard Sir Ben Brust proclaims, "Thy art too aged." Much hangs in the balance, for the deer often treat the delicate heart of Sir Kyle Wallace like that of a scandalous maiden. Hope fades, chaos ensues. Our leader flies away like a mystical griffin. To whom will we gaze our eyes to fix the painful experiences in the Ides of this season? To a doctor, of course. May his genius flow like a river. Optimism returns. Downcast is thine heart. Tragedy propagates. Snatched by the savage twist of fate and his soleus, our champion from Greece is defanged. To whom will we look for prosperity? The clock tower strikes. Fair maiden occasion. Dame time. All the world is a stage, and Act 1, on the grandest stage, commences. Who do the deer face? Ha! The wretched runners from the pitiable flatlands. Curse the unfolding of time. What light through yonder window breaks? Resuscitation of compensation Chris renews fleeting hope. Will Pat Bev be true to his verbiage and be like canines in the street? Will leather vigorously be applied to backsides? Countrymen declare from the rooftops, Robert, Robert, Robert. Alas, pursuit in vain. Cruel world, a season departing is such sweet sorrow. Will Larry O'Brien ever hither our direction? Will Act 1 be the only stage on which this team acts? Will the crippling knees and weathering of faces be too much to overcome? To the future of these particular playwrights, and whether they'll ever end in a standing ovation. To be or not to be, that is the question. Renewed is the winter of our discontent. Who knew Bradley Shakespeare was a Bucks fan?
Oh, wow.
I legit spent like...
Williams got some lineage out there.
Yeah. I legit spent like an hour writing that.
Dude,
and there was more. It got cut out.
That was good.
You would have passed like English with an A++.
Yeah, there were a couple in there that I was like particularly proud of leather vigorously applied to
Oh,
backsides.
I love that. I couldn't wait when you started talking
Belt
about
to booty.
Yeah, I couldn't wait.
Belt to booty, and then
Robert.
And shout out to you guys in there too.
Yeah. No, you made me laugh because I've been yelling that this team is just too old for the last 3 months?
Thine art too aged.
Thine art too aged. The more genuine way of me screaming, they're too old.
That's right.
I got to react to that on the other side because there's a lot to pick off that bone. Bradley Shakespeare, that is his name, live from Potawatomi Sportsbook. But, unfortunately, when it comes to Bucks and 6, there won't be as many Bucks and 6. I don't have a cool Shakespearean way to say that. But from the biggest plays on the court to the comments in the locker room, like hearing from Dame talk about the season in a reflective manner. Bucks and 6, no more than less. You can find on the Bucks Plus audio network if you missed any of the game or want to relive the biggest moments, in which there were not enough. Bucks and 6 provide game recaps every morning after. Hear the high-flying dunks that weren't, the deep threes from Dame that weren't, and catch the comments post-game about what happened to the end of the season. That's Bucks and 6 on the Bucks Plus audio
it's the
network.
Bucks and 6 tragedy, Ben.
Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Bradley Shakespeare, Ben Brust, and Kyle Wallace. Kyle Brust and Nortman live from Potto Sportsbook in 2 minutes. Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. I joined the Princeton Club because I was looking for a place I could invest in my health, and the environment and the community I have felt has made it so easy for me to incorporate it into my everyday life. It doesn't matter where you're at in your fitness journey because they have something to offer everyone. It also goes beyond fitness. From the moment you walk in the club to the moment you walk out, there is a togetherness felt throughout the members and staff that keeps you going for your better tomorrow. Don't wait any longer and get started on your fitness journey today at PrincetonClub.net. That's PrincetonClub.net.
Hi, this is former Badger Pro Football Hall of Famer Joe Thomas. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison. Good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlake Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
What's happening, Madison? I'm Alex Gravatt. This is your Sports Center brought to you by Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin's Road America. The NTT IndyCar Series is coming June 6th through the 9th. Get your tickets today and check out the full season schedule at roadamerica.com. Well, all the hype, all the hopes, all the hoops, all for naught. The Bucks season comes to a end with a 120 120-98 loss to the Indiana Pacers last night. The Bucks without Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Dame Lillard played, but he was dealing with injury. Here's Doc Rivers on what made this team's run still impressive.
It's hard to do, man. Take Jokic and Murray away. Go to each team and take their two best players away. It's going to be hard. We understood that, but what I loved about our guys is no one wavered.
No one wavered, and Dame and Doc have both said they're excited to lock in this offseason despite rumors of Dame's displeasure with Milwaukee. From one season ending to the other, starting in a way, Packers rookies report for rookie minicamp. 11 picks and 8 undrafted free agents start their time as a Packer today. Now the Bucs season is over, the countdown to Packers begins 126 days away.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studios in Madison, this is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN. Sponsored by Bud Light on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Live from Potawatomi Casino Hotel's brand new Sportsbook, 2,000 square foot video wall, expanded food menu. We're live in person, and it is absolutely amazing. If you missed William Shakespeare's long-lost relative, Bradley Shakespeare, he did a great job of summarizing what was the 2023-24 Milwaukee Bucks. Joey chimes in, that was honestly, I love when they're like, that was honestly really good, Brad. Future in writing. Dude said compensation, Chris, the runners from the flatlands. That was dope.
There's a couple things that could get easily lost in there, right? So it's like Dame's nickname, right? So when we signed him is Dalla Dame, right? So it was earned.
Dame Dalla, isn't it?
Oh, well. It'd be the other way around.
Tausch says it the opposite way.
Because Tausch is old, like the Bucks.
I was going off of Tausch. But I kept on calling him like earned wage and fair maiden, right? For Dalla Dame. Dame is in a woman. And then for Dame time, it was fair maiden occasion. Dame time.
So we thought.
Also, some love on YouTube. LOL, good stuff, Bradley Shakespeare. Did you write a book? Sheesh.
Yeah, I mean, I legitimate when I do these, I legitimately do
I feel like
research.
you're in like a dark room, just like in the lab thinking creatively.
Yeah, I just need silence. I need silence at the Nortman estate. I need to be in
Nortman
my zone.
estate. Here we go. The estate, as if there's not enough rooms for you to hide and do show prep.
Yeah, so it was a lot of fun doing it, and like I said, compensation, Chris, like cash money, Chris. Right?
Yeah,
we're doing this all like that. And
I'm not gonna lie, it was too good for me to understand at times, if that makes sense. I don't know Shakespeare that well. So when you say all these things, I'm trying to like catch up because I was very illiterate in writing.
Well, there were some very real Shakespearean titles and phrases in here. Another one that I had, did you guys hear this one for like Woj Bomb? What explosive I hear from Sir Woj of the land of Espen? Did you guys hear that one?
Of course I did. The land of Espen?
Yeah, but I sprinkled a lot of, this can be your English education for the day. Who's ever listening, look, I'm going through it too. I'm a Bucks fan. I'm feeling it today.
Yeah.
This was an outlet as I did throughout
it was
my
a good
tier.
outlet. That's a healthy outlet compared to Kyle Wallace, who just...
it was good, but it was like
a tragedy.
It was a tragedy, but then it's kind of like listening to it, you're making a parody of my pain. That's what this basically was. So, like, I mean, it was very good, Bradley. It was. Art thou Bradley Shakespeare?
All right. Tell me about your pain.
I'm kidding. My pain is the fact that this happens over and over again. It's not anything to laugh about. This is a serious matter for us Bucks fans. The fact that we don't know what the future holds. We are believing that the Bucks can get this done. But as I said before, knowing that the window is closing, knowing that the dark ages may be coming on the horizon does not make me feel good. And knowing that this window of opportunity is just so narrow makes me feel very worrisome inside. So obviously I do not feel good. I still need time to recover from yesterday because yesterday was just embarrassing. It wasn't the fact that
was this a
lost.
remote throw at your house?
No, it wasn't even that.
You're probably just like sad.
It was one of them. Literally, I said, oh,
hands
babe,
in the air.
I walked to the living room. I said, baby, it's over. She said, the game's over already? I said, yeah, it's over. She said, oh, did they win? I said, no, it's over. We lost. She said, oh, so the game. I said, no, it's the third quarter, but the game is over. Okay, it's over. And so it was just frustrating
your poor baby
for me.
girl.
Poor her for real. I was like, what don't you understand about the game? It's over.
Has she
It's
watched?
over.
Has she watched
My heart
Packer
is
games with you yet?
Yes, she has.
Okay.
But I had to warn her before. And the apartment that she used to stay in, there was many times. And I turned around. Don't shush me. Shush the Packers. It was the Giants game, actually, that caused some a stir because it was 10 o'clock in the morning and we were getting belt to booty by the Giants.
Yeah.
10 o'clock at night.
No, it was in the morning. 10 o'clock in the morning when they went over to London.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, that one when I took a nap at noon because
that
my
was
day
2
was over.
years ago.
Oh, yeah. I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm just saying that's
Because
when
the New York Giants last year was obviously famously Tommy DeVito.
that was frustrating. I don't know if I was with her for that one that night.
But I think that's what makes this season a tragedy, though, is because I recall the excitement that we had when Dame was traded here. I'm not going to lie. I was right here with you guys being like, let's go, championship or bust. I was feeling just as good as anyone was feeling. That's right. But then when it comes down to it, the way this season unfolded and how bad they played, especially after Doc took over, was there any real surprise? I mean, okay, let's be honest. Giannis not being there, I think if Giannis plays, they win the series. So that does play a huge factor.
Yes.
But 800 surprise.
800-990-3776. I just want to remind anybody out there in KBN Nation, we heard from a lot of you early in the show, that at any point, if you would like to get your therapy session out with us, you can call, you can text, you can get us on YouTube, 800-990-3776, 800-990-ESPN, on Twitter at KBN ESPN. We have an initial poll out there after Kyle Wallace watched the debacle that was. He believes that this championship window only has 1 year left. Do you agree or disagree? Agree, 48%, disagree, 52%. So we're kind of stuck in that 50-50 lockstep. But I think regardless of it being 50-50, what's sad to me is the pessimism that is realistic, right? Like, it's realistic pessimism. It's not just like to me, it doesn't feel like an overreaction to have that take. I will be the first to get on Kyle Wallace when I feel like he is overreacting and living too emotionally. This has been something, as he has mentioned, over 6 years, as I had said as well. 1 championship in 6 years, two first round exit. I believe it was a second round against the Heat in the bubble.
I mean, we had
second round against the Boston Celtics, in which Chris got hurt.
First round Heat, first round against
a big miss against the 2-0 that you were up in the Eastern Conference Finals against the champion Toronto Raptors. Just, and that's why I think it's okay to get to the point that you are right now.
Well, and the thing is that if I had faith and trust, like when I talk about the Green Bay Packers organization, I have faith and trust what they did because of the fact that we've had success, right? When I look at this Milwaukee Bucks organization, it just seems like they're trying different things and don't truly have an identity. It's basically Giannis, it's Chris, and see what the heck we can do around them to try to make this work for this year. And that is the issue that I have, is that this Bucks organization, it has no direction, and they seem like they do not know what they are doing whatsoever.
Well, and there was big questions as to whether how does Dame's game fit this team specifically, and that's maybe the hardest thing, because we can all agree Dame's a star. He's really good.
Yeah.
But it just didn't seem like it ever worked out with Dame in the starting lineup.
So let me ask you this then, Brad, because I think you've made it very clear that you don't believe that there's a window with this team at all. One thing that I was thinking is, do you want to run it back with this big three, or get rid of one if you can to go younger?
I would get rid of one to go younger.
Strophe. Alex Strofe, our producer, made it back from Potawatomi Sportsbook after being live for Mr. Irrelevant from noon to 2. Strophe, what up?
Hi, Ben.
What's wrong?
The Bucks lost.
Yeah. So Strofe
Painful.
does this thing where he'll go around the room and ask everyone, what are you out of 10? What are you out of 10 right now, Strofe?
Like a 5.5. And just cherry on top, fellas, I got back to the work parking garage. I can't find my parking pass. I've been here a week. I already lost it.
Oh, that's brutal. Brad Nortman was delivered a burger that's sitting right on stream. That is the like, I can do radio teases. That's a tease right there.
My senses are being teased. I'm salivating just sitting here. I'm amazed I can put words together.
That vocabulary is phenomenal.
Yeah, we know that. Strophe, I would like to get this up on Twitter at KBN ESPN. Do you want to run it back with the big three or trade one of them to get young assets, if possible? What do you think? What do you think? You didn't like my poll yesterday, so I want the approval from the host of Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I just think that you go younger, because if you run it back and you don't get a championship, you are going to be another year removed from being able to continue to extend Giannis's championship window. You're going to be worse off than you are a year from now. Everybody's older. You have less lung. You have This burger right here is really getting me excited. You have less young assets, and I think they're further away from a championship than ever.
800-990-3776. Tim in Madison, it's your time to have your voice heard on KBN. How you feeling? What are you out of 10?
I'd say a 6, man.
Oh, you're
6,
high.
7.
Oh, let him be.
No, you're feeling too good.
No, let him feel how he feels. Shut up and let him talk.
Do something, but first off, I'd like to bring Pat Bev back. I really think he was a good piece and integral part of what they were trying to do, at least on somewhat of a defensive end. But a key free agent I'd like to look out for, and I know his name is kind of getting tossed around, is Kevin Porter Jr. I really like the guy, and he's a good young talent, and he's a good scorer, and that's primarily a lot of what we need too.
Drafted by the Bucks.
Yeah,
traded, but
look. All like I said, all options are on the table in terms of what you think. Because if you think they need to go younger and sign younger guys, you're gonna have to make room for something like that. Kyle, you raise your hand.
We can't afford to bring anybody.
That's what.
Yeah,
that's why
we have
That's why I just preface, if you're able to move somebody to create space, to be able to do something like that.
And I don't mean to be like the pessimistic one, but
No,
I'm just
you
looking at
mean
this,
to be.
Well, yeah, I do mean to be for this, because I want my Bucks to do well. I want to be able to do that, because you're right. The Bucks are already knocking on the door of the second apron of the luxury tax, so they can't go sign anybody.
Ooh,
They're
I
locked
love
in.
having the CPA on the show.
They're locked into these contracts. You can't just, not like the NFL, where you can just cut someone to make cap room. They're stuck on these contracts. You'll only have a couple assets. You have your first round draft pick, one young player to make a difference, or you trade, or you run it back completely and just pray it gets better.
The Bucks better pray they can trade back in the first round like Goody, get some more assets.
So to my question, Kyle, because you had said there's one more year of this window.
Yep.
Brad believes 0, and he would trade. Would you want to run it back with those 3, or try and trade one?
No, I want to run it back with those 3, because though this was very disappointing, I firmly believe that core 3 has some juice left in them. I was actually proud in the way that this team fought without Damian Lillard, but also I just would love to see the combination of Dame and Giannis together with a Chris Middleton that showed you just this offseason or postseason that he had a little something where he can contribute, he can step up. Because, listen, if Giannis was having an off night or Dame having an off night, having a guy like Chris who could step up and elevate this team and give you another punch would have been very, very helpful. Heck, I still think if you had Dame and Chris the entire series, it may end up going 7 games. But running it back with these 3 is definitely essential for the 2024 and 2025 NBA season.
Do you want to run it back with the big 3, or would you trade one of them to potentially help get younger? 800-990-3776. Strophy will get that up on Twitter at KBN ESPN. We'll continue to hear from all of you live from Potawatomi Casino Hotel's brand new Sportsbook. What are you out of 10 right now? Because that's the Alex Strofe way of asking how you're feeling. What are you, Kyle?
I'm about a 2.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm a 3 because they gave me the Voss and I walk in.
That's worth a point.
That's worth the point. And then every time I turn my head, I have a little slither behind me here at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, and I can see the Brewers score. So that always perks me up a little bit too. Even though they're losing
right now,
it's 1-0. They're losing, but hey, fellas, listen, it's transition time, baby. Go Crew.
That quickly. On to the next one. Which
I got it.
You got to stay optimistic.
No, exactly. I got to be positive about my fighting Pat Murphy's. The only Pat that can get some victories around here.
The only Pat that can get victories. I like Pat. Pat Murphy is a dog. I love Pat Murphy. I'd go to war for him if I played for his team. Cubs and Brewers are in action right now at Wrigley Field. We'll get that poll up on Twitter at KBN ESPN. We'll continue to hear from all of you, but we do have to hear from Brad Nortman and what the great things that Gina Della from Pella does for all of you looking for the best way to upgrade your home.
I'm telling you, those upgrades for your home, you don't appreciate them until you see them with your eyes, you touch it with your hands. You can do that in the Pella showroom. Ben and I did that, and we were blown away at the technology, the innovation, the beauty, the luxury that Pella Windows and Doors can redo for your home. I mean, you hear it. You hear something like blinds between the glass. You hear something like an invisible shade that goes up and down when the window does. You hear things about electronic doors. Until you see it, you really have that, oh, wow moment. And there's an incredible deal for Pella Windows and Doors right now. It's 0% interest for up to 60 months. That's right, 0% interest up
You're
to
a
60
math guy.
months.
What's that? 5 years.
That's 5 years of 0%. I mean, in this market, in this economy, I could go all day about the economy, but I won't because you don't have time for that. You have to get to Pella right now because this only lasts until May 10th. So if you want to change your home, change the way it looks, the way it feels, you got to go to Pella Windows and Doors in Wisconsin.
I set
your
a date.
consultation.
I set a date. Not necessarily with Pella yet, but with my girlfriend, so we can go
to go to the showroom.
Yeah, I mean, I have to.
You know, she's gonna fall in love just like we did.
I know. If I fell in love, she's gonna fall in love.
The idea is you start going like this too.
Yes,
they start clicking.
And she's
left
got
and right.
more like I see something, I like it, but that doesn't mean it fits with her vision.
Well, and what's cool too is when we were walking with Gina, you showed her that picture, that kind of unique bay window she had.
She's like, in the house.
She's like, we can do that. Everything's customizable with Pella.
Colors as well. I was like, you can do this color?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
She's like, that's not even hard.
Red, white, blue, green, pink, orange. They got it all. And they make it all themselves. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Check out Gina Della from Pella and what they do. Showroom in Madison, showroom in Milwaukee. You'll go in there, and they have a budget that can fit whatever you want for whatever home you are in. More Kyle, Brust, and Nortman live from Potawatomi Sportsbook. What are you out of 10? I think I'm a 5. Next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
You said they are a reflection of their head coach.
Yes, he's soft, as he proved with you by signing that damn jersey you had on. You think Campbell would have signed that jersey?
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Wild Rock Golf in the Wisconsin Dells, a must-play every golf season. Wild Rock Golf features championship golf in the heart of Wisconsin. Wild Rock, a Herdston Fry masterpiece that's cut from the natural beauty of the Wisconsin Dells and offers stunning views from elevated tee boxes. Wild Rock presents spectacular greens that roll fast and true. Wild Rock Golf in the Wisconsin Dells, a unique gem that offers a challenge to avid golfers of all abilities. Book your tee time today for this must-play at wildrockgolf.com, wildrockgolf.com.
From color-changing alexandrite to shimmering zircon and everything in between at Chalmers Jewelers, you'll find high-quality, affordable, one-of-a-kind pieces. We source straight from the gem cutters, and we manufacture in-house from start to finish. As the manufacturer, we believe in truth in pricing. Never pay more for quality and stunning, beautiful jewelry. She's one of a kind, and so should her jewelry be. While others may send your jewelry dreams to someone else to make, with us, your dreams become reality with the help of our custom jewelers, with you involved the whole way. With a staff that has over 200 years of combined experience, why buy from a place that marks up jewelry made by the thousands? When you can buy direct from Chalmers for that one-of-a-kind piece that is better quality, often for less.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company is a Madison original, brewing award-winning craft beers for nearly 30 years. Whether you're a fan of Pilsners, IPAs, Stouts, or Sours, the Danes team of brewers always have something new on tap. Or if you're in the mood for a classic, enjoy the German Pilsner or Crop Circle Wheat. For a full tap list, head to one of their locations in Fitchburg, Hilldale, downtown, or East Madison, or visit GreatDanePub.com. Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's original brew pub since 1994.
Prize Picks is America's #1 fantasy sports app with more than 5 million members. It is the most fun and exciting way to get in on the action while you watch your favorite sports and players. Pretty simple. You just pick more or less on 2 or more players' stats for a shot to win up to 100x on your cash. And testing my skills on Prize Picks this playoff basketball season, it's the most simple way to get in on the action. You just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projected stats, and submit your lineup. Made my first $10 deposit and received an instant $10 bonus. If you have the skills, you can play for a shot at turning your $10 into $1,000. This playoff season, the star players mean more on PrizePicks. Keep an eye out for starred players on the board, and you could receive a 10% payout boost if they're in your winning lineup. Download the app today and use that code WI for a first deposit match up to $100. That's code WI on PrizePicks for a first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
Are you in need of expert exterior renovations? Look no further than Ridgetop Exteriors. For over 22 years, we've been the trusted name in roofing, siding, windows, doors, and gutter replacements. With a track record of excellence on our Google reviews, we take pride in transforming houses into dream homes. Visit us today at ridgetopexteriors.com for a free consultation. That's ridgetopexteriors.com. Ridgetop Exteriors, your trusted local affordable partners.
Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owns. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, sponsored by Bud Light on ESPN Wisconsin and Wisconsin On Demand.
Two, three, four, five. Everybody in the car, so come on, let's ride to the liquor store around the corner. The
Producer of Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, Alex Strofe, had a little slip up there trying to get us back into the show in front of the big boss. Craig Karmazin, who's joining Kyle, Brust, and Nortman live from the Gruber Law Offices. One Call, That's All Studios. We are Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin, live from Potawatomi Casino Hotel's brand new Sportsbook. That 2,000 square foot video wall feels like 4,000. It is amazing. We'll continue to talk about that and update you on what is the Brewers-Cubs first matchup in the new era without Craig Counsell. But excited to have on the show right now. You hear him on Sundays from 10 to noon on Sunday Karma. With our guy Kyle Wallace.
I need to see if are we there Sunday, Craig?
I think we are.
All right. Well, cool. Well, I'll be there.
Well, your guy Kyle, Craig, says that the Bucks championship window only has 1 year left. Tell us if you agree or disagree with that.
That is crazy, and the Brewers are tied up at 1. How about that? Big hit by Contreras.
Play-by-play, Craig.
I assume on your fourth.
Are you going to get us in trouble? Is that straight play-by-play off the TV in front of you?
No, it is off ESPN.com and WTMJ. So we
good
have.
News is if there's an FCC violation.
No, we have the
that
radio
won't be
rights. We have. I mean, maybe not in Madison, but we have the radio rights. So I don't know.
That's true.
Kyle's silly. Kyle's like emotional. Kyle's not logical. Giannis, as long as Giannis is on the team. Like, is LeBron's championship, like, LeBron won a championship 2 years ago. 3 years ago. Like, we have a long period of time, and every year it's about maximizing the opportunity. These last 2 years have been historically disappointing. I don't know in the history of the NBA that a 1 seed has ever lost and then also lost as a 3 seed, within the year before or the year after. So this is historically bad. Like, it's awful. But it also could be a championship next year. This nucleus is so good. And then what we've seen is every year this team is contending for a championship. You guys are at a sports book right now. Look at what the odds were going into this year. The Bucks every year are championship contenders.
Craig, we listen, contenders and actually following through are two different things. And as a lifelong Bucks fan, it is very frustrating to see this Bucks team make me get excited about what we're going to have and have failures in the playoffs, whether it's
right.
Toronto,
You're the only fan
Boston.
base, right? You're the
we're
one
not
team
the only
wins a
base,
championship, Kyle.
Here's the thing, though. The illusion of Giannis being the one that is going to solve all the problems, the illusion of Giannis that he guarantees the fact you're going to be a championship contender is just not factual. We've been to 1 NBA Finals with Giannis, and heck, we've been to 2 Eastern Conference Finals with Giannis. I understand how great Giannis is. He cannot do it alone. Until we build a roster around Giannis that can actually be successful, it is an illusion and puts entirely
You're crazy,
too much pressure
Kyle.
on Giannis.
Kyle, tell me what other championship team has closed out a conference finals without their best player. I'll wait.
Yeah, how many years ago was that? Hey, listen, Chris
3
Middleton
years
still
ago.
had
What
he
other
still
team?
had a good knee. He don't got 2 good knees no more.
Okay, so tell me about Joker, the run the Nuggets made to the championship without Joker. Tell me about all LeBron's teams winning championship without LeBron. It just happens.
I hear Craig on this. I definitely hear the fact that like Giannis has not been involved, but I heard you on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning, and Chewy was going at you, ultimately saying, well, that's what happens when you build a roster around the guys that are continuously getting old.
But they're not getting old. I mean, by NBA standards, you're talking about guys in their prime winning years, and you are going to rebuild around around Giannis at different stages of his career. There's going to be different nucleuses around Giannis. We've already seen that, right? We've seen an era before Drew Holiday. We've seen an era with Drew Holiday. We're now seeing an era, where Dame is the second star and where Chris Middleton is clearly still a star. I mean, you're going to see different eras, of course, but Giannis is still the transformational talent that has, absolutely made this a championship contender every year. You're not going to win it every year, but the fact that we've already gotten one is pretty amazing, and we're coming for another every single year.
Craig, with Giannis, and I do believe they need to protect him at all costs, you do have a 4 to 5 year window that you can be great, but this iteration of this team...
Where are you getting 4 to 5 years, though?
He's turning 30 next year. I don't think his game evolves to where in 5 years he's the elite talent that he is now. The way he plays the game of basketball.
I'm not going to bet against. I'm definitely not going to bet against that. The way he approaches the game. But
for him to be a top 5 player in the NBA over the next 4 to 5 years.
And back-to-back injuries in the playoffs.
And I think that you talk about iterations of teams. I suggest the Bucks should trade Dame to start that next iteration now because it solved 2 problems. You get depth, which this team doesn't have, and you get younger, quicker, faster.
What teams ever won a championship because of depth? You guys, I'll wait.
Game.
I'll sit and wait. Give me the championship teams that win because of depth. You win because you have 7 players, and you have 2 or 3 really great players. That's how you win championships
with the 7
in the NBA.
players thing is, though, because I do agree with you, is the 7 players are, like Brook is getting old. Like, he was not able to keep up with the pace in this series, right? You have Chris, Dame, and Giannis, who I believe in. But the scary thing about it is, and this is why I'm not a general manager, if I'm a general manager, on paper, I'm thinking those 3 guys together are great. But now we've run into a situation where Middleton got hurt in 22 against the Celtics. Obviously, he had battled injuries last year. He was an absolute warrior this year. Giannis has played 3 of the last 11 playoff games, and Dame got hurt this playoffs. So there's a common denominator with those 3 that it feels like somewhat of a risk to run back. I think you should, but I think it's fair for people to argue that running it back with those 3 may be scary based off the injury history.
Yeah, I think the idea of saying running it back doesn't even make sense. You haven't even had the chance to run it. LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, at their peak, did not win a championship in their first year together, and they were all healthy. I mean, the idea that this team hasn't even played together with their coach. If anyone remembers March 24th, it was a Sunday. We all sat there and watched them play the Oklahoma City Thunder. All 3 guys healthy. The defense that team played, they dominated the best team, the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. They beat the Boston Celtics. When this team was healthy and together, they were winning. Now,
okay, Craig. So
Yeah.
okay, healthy and together, but this team is only going to get older. We don't know what's going to happen with Pat Bev. We see that Pat Connaughton is probably falling off a little bit. Brook Lopez is getting older. What can the Bucks do to actually build a roster around them so they don't get circles ran around them by younger, faster players?
Again, I'm not. There's circles around and all that. That's a result of not having those 3 guys together. When you have in the NBA your best players, it changes the whole game. It's not asking guys.
I mean, I know Dan got hurt, but do you think the Bucks were good enough to get through this series without Giannis?
Yes. I mean, look where these games were. Of course, we would have won this series. There's no doubt in my mind. But they weren't healthy and they didn't win the series, but yes.
But you do agree that we have to get younger. We have to get more athletic. We can't continue to go when we have to be able to develop draft picks. Like, we can't continue down the pathway, or our window is going to be just next year.
I think when you have Giannis and you have stars, you have the ability to get more stars, which we did with Dame. And when you have Chris, who is a star, who has proven to be consistently a star, you have the opportunity to win. We had players get hurt. In the NBA, you're counting on very few players to make the difference. This was as unfortunate as could be. I mean, Giannis is going to try to play through anything, as we saw when in the NBA Finals. He was not close to being able to play in the series. It was a freak non-contact injury, right? I mean, it was a fluke time of the year for that injury to happen, and when that happens, you're not going to win a championship that year. And by the way, Porzingis is hurt right now with the same injury. We said all along, if Porzingis is hurt, the Bucks are probably better than the Celtics. So if that injury had happened and the Bucks were healthy, I think there's a path to the NBA Finals right now.
Talking with Craig Karmazin here on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. Now, Craig, it's been 6 years with one championship. If the Giannis era in Milwaukee only ends with one championship, will you be satisfied?
I will be. It depends how long the Giannis era in Milwaukee is. I think if Giannis plays his whole career in Milwaukee, I will be absolutely satisfied with whatever the results are. I mean, do I want one championship? No, because you already have one. But Giannis does not cheat the game. Giannis does not cheat anything. And I know that Giannis is going to push the organization to do its best, and he's going to push himself to do his best. He's going to push every player to do his best. And so I know the way Giannis raises the standards of everything around him. So if we end up as an organization being able to have Giannis for his entire career, then regardless of the results, I will be really satisfied because I know everyone will be working every day to win as many championships as possible. And that's what you want out of your organization.
That sounds like something Homer would call you Mo for. That's somebody who's watching Giannis be here to help that Mo investment.
No, that's someone who I run a business like our business, and it can't always be about playing the results, right? It's about what you do every day, and you could have awesome years where you do really, really, really well, but maybe you're not the best out of 30. Maybe you're the second or third best. And maybe there was a fluke injury that happens to you the same way James Harden and Kyrie Irving got injured, in that Nets series, and the way Giannis got injured in the Hawks series, right? There's always going to be fluke things in sports. And just because it doesn't all line up doesn't mean everything was all wrong, right? Like, doesn't mean Lamar Jackson still isn't a great quarterback at this point, but you're going to certainly want to see him get further, right?
Well, Craig, the good thing is you came into the studio. I was hoping for a little more play-by-play from you as the Brewers go up 3-1, 3 runs in the top of the 8th. We appreciate the time as we're live at Potawatomi Casino Sportsbook. Can't wait to see you and Kyle do a show from here.
And now we're going to be able to be nice to Craig Counsell, right? We're over all the bad blood.
You know what, Craig? How excited are you to see a real manager who stands up for his team, that sit there and let
Pat
people
Murphy's
know
a dog.
you're not going to play my guy like that. You're not going to play my guys like that. I'm glad Pat Murphy got kicked out because that's an identity. That's a tone setter right there. I am glad Craig Counsell went down to those losers down south because now we got a real manager in Pat Murphy.
Yeah, I love Pat Murphy. And I love Craig Counsell. I appreciate everything he brought to the team and he continues to bring to our community.
Oh, yeah. A whole bunch of losses in the playoffs.
Too.
Woo! We love losing.
The optimistic Craig Karmazin brings a little bit of different take to Brad wanting to blow the thing up. Kyle with 1 year left in the window. We appreciate the perspective and taking some time out to talk with us, Craig.
Remember, you guys would have blown up Virginia after they lost to UMBC as the first 1 seed to lose to a 16 seed, and what happened the next year. Thanks, guys.
There it is. All right. You know what? I'm at Sportsbook. I guess I probably would have done that after the Bucks lost in the first round last year. Maybe the theory would have worked for that then, but it didn't work for this year.
Which was worse, last year or this year, man?
This year.
No.
Easily. For me.
No,
last year
prisoner of the moment.
Last year was embarrassing.
A 1 seed losing 4-1.
I was in Florida watching the game, thinking that my stuff didn't stink. Had my Bucks hoodie on in that 80-degree weather just because I wanted to rep. I looked stupid.
Yeah, but expectations were never higher than with this.
We
team.
were a 1 seed.
Do you guys see what I'm pulling out of my pocket?
Is it a Brewers ticket?
I need you guys to help me grind this. I did a reverse run line. Brewers were not favored, so I took a -1.5. plus 175. 75 to win 206. They got to win by 2 runs. They're up 3-1. 6 more outs to go. Live from Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Let's get it. PaysBig.com. Check out the Sportsbook. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman with Alex Strofe producing, or at least attempting to. Next.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
Tiles, thank you for all that baby talk there and parenting talk. I'll take some of those tips.
I was getting ready for it right
taking notes over there,
taking some of those taking some of those tips, those tips and storing them away. I do like nips as well. But Tiles,
on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Ben Brust here from Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, and tell you about the newest spike tee on the market, and that is Hoop Tee. And when I mean that it's the newest and best, it was born on the boardwalk of Ocean City, Maryland, and enjoyed now right here in Madison, Wisconsin. With flavors like an original spike tee. You have peach, you have mango, you have watermelon. Hoop Tee will make you feeling great with whatever flavor fits your profile. Hoop Tee. Enjoy the hoops on the screen and hoops in your hand. HoopTee.com. Must be 21 years or older to enjoy.
LabCorp Clinical Trials is changing to a new name, Fortrea. While the name may be different, Fortrea combines decades of great experience and professionalism with new opportunities for clinical trial participation. It's more than a mission and more than a new name. Fortrea is dedicated to moving healthcare forward. To learn more about the future of healthcare and upcoming clinical trials, visit us at FortreaClinicalTrials.com. That's FORTREA clinicaltrials.com.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
If you want a fresh twist on surf and turf, look no further than North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. Inspired by their time living in the Alaskan Gulf in southern Texas, owners Keith and Aaron brought together unique culinary backgrounds to create a truly authentic American restaurant here in Madison. After expanding to 2 more locations in DeForest and Verona, you can savor smoky, wood-fired barbecue and freshly prepared seafood from around the country. Explore their full menu and dining options at eatnorthandsouth.com. That's eatnorthandsouth.com.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Protect your dream home with American Family Insurance. And you can weather any storm. You'll also save up to 25% by bundling home, auto, and life. American Family Insurance. Get a quote. Find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Discounts may not apply to all coverages on an auto or home policy. Discounts do not apply to life insurance policies. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
People across Wisconsin are enjoying the rewards, stability, and flexibility of a career in healthcare. Why not you? Wish Caregiver Careers can get you started as a certified direct care professional. You'll learn the skills you need to make life better for older adults or people with a disability. All training is free and online. Plus, earn $500 in bonuses. Start your new career. Sign up today at WishCaregiverCDCP.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Hey Madison, it's Dan Andrews from Simon Chevrolet in Mount Horeb. By now, you know that you're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simon Chevrolet in Mount Horeb. But what is a better buying experience? It's a car buying experience that is custom to what you want and need. We can be your trusted expert, or we can be hands-off until you're ready to purchase. If you're in the market for a new or new-to-you Chevy truck or SUV, make the short drive to Simon Chevrolet in Mount Horeb and see the difference a better buying experience can make.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Oh, well, we're feeling bummed here with everything that happened last night, but the fun doesn't have to stop. That's because with DraftKings' newest fantasy app called Pick 6, you can enjoy a whole lot of the NBA playoffs. They're an official partner of the NBA. Getting started is so simple. It's so easy. Simply select if a player is going to have more or less of a certain stat. For instance, if a player is going to have more points than, a 32.5 or less than 3.5 rebounds, what you do is you go in there, you pick your favorite picks that you want for however you think it's going to turn out tonight. You create up to 6 different picks, thus the name Pick 6, and you compete against other people for huge cash prizes using your favorite players and enjoying the NBA playoffs while you're at it. Download the new DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code WKTI and take the competition to the next level with the best NBA player picks. Only on DraftKings Pick 6 with code WKTI. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 18 plus in most eligible states. Age varies by jurisdiction. Eligibility restrictions apply. Pick 6 is not available in all states. For up-to-date list of states, visit dkng.co/pick 6 states. Void where prohibited. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
I tell you what, Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman here. I am all aboard the Fighting Pat Murphys.
Yeah, I love them.
I don't know about y'all.
For sure.
I love them.
Obviously, there was some fireworks in the series with the Tampa Bay Rays. The Brewers are currently up 3-1 against the Cubs in the bottom of the 8th. I believe on the mound right now. I just want to make sure I get this right. I think Pyamps is out there in the bottom of the 8th, 1 out, and I need them to win by 2 to win my first official Potawatomi Sportsbook bet here as we're live. Why do you guys look like you're Tell me what happened.
No, it's
Tell
nothing.
me what happened.
No,
What happened?
I don't know why Tyler's acting like that. They got a hit.
Yeah, just one guy
They
on
got
base.
a hit. Tyler is over the top.
Who? Weimer got hurt? That's nothing. We can replace
He's
him.
got a little bit of limp.
You made it seem like they had a 2-run bomb to tie it up. I can't have that energy.
He's
right
dramatic. My goodness.
He is dramatic.
You're like
super
me.
negative.
With
Yeah,
Pat
maybe that's why I like you so much.
With Pat Murphy
I'm
at
not
the helm.
negative.
The guy we're talking about is one of our, I'd say, in terms of work ethic, it goes Alex Strofe with the lowest work ethic, and then right next to him is Tyler in marketing, who's helping us out, and very negative in all of his sports.
They are the epitome of Gen Z with their work ethic.
Gen Z. They are Gen Zs.
Yeah, that's a
Gen
good
Z.
definition. If you want to figure out what we're talking about, just Google Gen Z.
Would you guys
work
like to
ethic
stay
and
on
bow.
the air or not?
Bow.
If you took us off the air, that would be some real Gen Z energy, getting yourself in trouble for nothing.
When we came from break, when the big boss was in there was a little bit of a delay there. So who knows what you were doing back there?
Were you nervous when Craig Karmazin was in there?
Shaking. Ooh.
No, it was just the first segment I was here for, so everything wasn't set up the way I typically have it set up. Ashton came in, he messed things up.
Excuses.
City. Oh my God.
Excuses. You ever heard of accountability?
Taking ownership?
Goodness gracious.
Do you take accountability for when you change your mind?
Who are you talking to? Do I take accountability when I change my mind?
Yeah, he's kind of got you there.
What do you mean I take
Dang, that was
What do you mean I just changed my I use
scathing rebuttal.
Kyle had to take a
information.
second. Is he talking about me?
I know who he was talking to. He better
Brad
be
and
more
I looked right at
direct.
Kyle.
Be more direct.
Yeah.
We're like, Kyle?
Strofe, you said that, and we went right to Kyle. And what do you got to say back to that?
Hey, all it is I take a look at what I see. I take in information, and based off the information, I make a decision. Sometimes things change based off more information.
Sometimes things
provided.
change. You literally
Sometimes.
said you go with the wind.
Wallace
Yeah, well,
Kyle.
wind blows left, wind blows right. I go with that wind sometimes. Like a kite.
You are a kite.
Proud of it.
And 800-990-3776. The phone lines are open if you do want to get any of your thoughts with our therapy session. Couple of polls out there on Twitter at KBN ESPN. The first being from Kyle Wallace, who, I'm still gonna go with 1 year. I still agree with your take here, Kyle. I know Craig Karmazin said.
Craig. Don't listen to nothing Craig
I'm
said.
just gonna.
That was nonsense.
He was a guest on our show,
That was
and I was
nonsense.
going to promote that. You can find his interview with us on Wisconsin On Demand.
If you want to listen to a delusional guest, go to ESPN Wisconsin on Demand. That's what he was.
Kyle said it, and you can take it. Look, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying you should be the judge for yourself, going back and listening.
Definitely.
Do you believe that there's only 1 year left of the championship window for the Bucks? It's still sitting at 50-50 as the votes continue to pile up. Strofe, I don't know if I've heard from you on this one. I'd like to get your thoughts because Brad argued that they're not even in the window. They should trade and just try and get younger to help set up the team for the future. I'm closer to Kyle here that, like, hey, if you're going to run it back with Dame, Giannis, Chris, and then try and figure out the rest, I'm fine with that because that is a core that we didn't see fully together. Now, there are injuries each year. I want your thoughts because you had a chance to host Mr. Irrelevant, and I'm sure you touched on it.
I did. I do not subscribe to the idea of getting rid of two of the best players in the world. Chris Middleton, I just don't know if anybody would take him, but after what we saw he did in the postseason, if the three of them can be healthy together, they have a championship recipe. The issue is the last 2 seasons, 3 seasons if you count 3 years ago when Chris went down against the Boston Celtics, and they still took him to 7 games. That just hasn't been the case. That's been more of a big if they can be healthy together. So I do have nervousness, but I think you'd be silly to change the route you're on with the three of them together.
Did the Milwaukee Bucks just get lucky in 2021?
No.
No. I know what you're going to say.
I'm serious.
I know you're serious, and you're saying probably from the Durant toe on the line,
of the injury,
probably from the injury, and facing the Atlanta Hawks in the Eastern Conference Finals and getting through them.
I mean, the Hawks wasn't luck. That was skill and talent. The Brooklyn Nets hindsight, Kyrie, James, and KD, and it literally took a toe, a millimeter of a toe on the line.
You can, to Craig Karmazin's point, the one thing that I really do truly believe what he said is he talked about how there are flukes every single year with injuries, right? Unfortunately for the Milwaukee Bucks, the biggest thing that I turn back to as a regret is the Toronto series, because you know why? Everyone got hurt for Golden State. But no one's going to look back and be like, well, the Toronto Raptors didn't win a title. No, they won the title. The Bucks won the title in 21. In 2022, I think they would have taken Boston if Chris Middleton didn't get hurt. Chris Middleton was a reason why they won, a big portion of the reason why they won the title, because of what he was able to do down the stretch for Drew and Giannis, taking over those offensive possessions in the half court. He was not there for that. Giannis and the rest of the team tried to will their way there. Obviously, last year didn't work, so Horst took and ownership took measures into changing coaches, bringing in Dame. Now, that didn't work, and that's why I agree that going back with the same three is what you do, but there is a big if they can stay healthy. And you can't sit here or call in or text and say that isn't a worry. If it's not a worry, you are just blind. Because you can get lucky with some of these, but also it can be a consistent problem when you're seeing it happen year over year over year with your guys.
They're not blind. What are they? What are they, Brad?
What?
They're delusional.
Delusional.
They're delusional.
Who's delusional?
If you think that injuries can't happen, you're delusional, like our good friend and founder and CEO that we all love, Craig Karmazin.
Well, and the older you get, the more likely they become.
That's the whole thing. You talk about
Chewy
Chewy
said it too this morning, and that's what I said. I can't disagree with the if you're old, you're more likely to get injured. Like, if Father Time is undefeated, and whether Craig Karmazin, who joined us, thinks those three are in their prime of winning championships, that may be, but injuries have plagued all three of them in the moments that have mattered most. Giannis, 3 of the last 11 games played in the playoffs. Chris Middleton has been basically in a walker the last 3 years, and he throws the walker aside, goes out and plays 40 minutes and gives it his all, and he's a warrior, and I love him for that. Dame now hitting, 33 years old with an Achilles injury. That's going to be just nagging his games based off of being able to push off and create space. You need 100% healthy, and you risk not being 100% healthy going with 3 main guys on your team that are what? Old, I tell you, Brad.
Now, what did you call them?
Thine art aged.
Thy aren't aged. And I actually want to hear Brad's story of the Milwaukee Bucks before we leave ESPN Wisconsin and go to the 414 hour at 4. So, Strofe, if you don't know where that is, we will help you during the break because you need all the help you can get. Actually, we have Rutledge and Hamilton crosstalk. You're a good producer. Thanks for getting in my ear. Rutledge and Hamilton, they're coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
This is Kyle